Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to make a famous recipe. It's called the Neiman Marcus chocolate chip cookie recipe. You may have heard of it. Supposedly for decades, it was rumored that they had sold their chocolate chip cookie recipe to somebody for some crazy high price. It was all just baloney. But anyway, then Neiman Marcus's executive chef did come up with this amazing recipe. So it is the Neiman Marcus chocolate chip cookie recipe. That's what we're going to make today. I'm sort of in search for the best chocolate chip cookie recipe because coming up shortly I have to make a bunch of cookies for a celebration of life party, and I want to have the absolute best chocolate chip cookies there. So we're going to give this recipe a try. It starts with, and it's not a huge batch. Like, you know how sometimes when you make cookies, the batch is so big you don't even know what to do with all the cookies. There's just me and my husband here, so I don't need to have, 3 dozen cookies. So this is a slightly smaller batch. We start with 1 stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of white sugar, and 1 cup of brown sugar. And I'm not bringing out my big mixer for this. I'm just going to mix it by hand. Okay, now we're going to add our egg and our vanilla. It's 1 egg and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, now we're going to put our dry ingredients in. So many recipes say to use a second bowl to put your dry ingredients in, your flour, your baking soda, salt, that sort of thing. But I never like dirtying a separate bowl, so I just put it through a sieve right into the recipe. And I need 1 3/4 cup of flour. There's 1/2 cup, 1 cup, 1 1/2, 1 3/4. And we need a teaspoon each of baking soda and baking powder. And I'm not using salt because I used salted butter, so I'm leaving the salt out. And just put this in like that. Okay, so there is one unusual ingredient that goes in these cookies. It's called espresso powder. And if you don't have it, it's no big deal. The cookies will still be really good, but it just adds a little something extra to it. So I need 1 1/2 teaspoons of that. And I'm gonna put in our chocolate chips now. It's 1 1/2 cups. Okay, now we're going to put the dough on our cookie sheets. I'm using a bigger scoop than, I would usually use for cookies. I want to make these kind of big because when I have them at the celebration of life, I want everybody to get a nice big cookie. So I have these extra large baking sheets that hold more, and I love them. They're hard to find. I found them at Amazon, and I would normally only be able to fit 8 cookies on this sheet if it was a standard size, but since I've got my extra large cookie sheet, I'm going to be able to fit 12 on there. So these cookie sheets really help me when I have a big job where I have to make a lot of cookies, because I can get them done almost half the time as I would if I had to, you know, bake only 8 cookies at a time on here. So I will put a link in the description if you have any interest in getting some of these cookie sheets. Okay, our cookies are out of the oven. I let them cool just for about 15 minutes and then I put them on this plate. They're super good. I just ate one when it was warm and they're delicious. If you like a crispy on the outside cookie that's kind of chewy in the middle, that's what these are like. Super good. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I'll put the recipe in the description, and I hope to see you again on one of my other videos. Take care.